You're listening to the MKSOUL podcast, created for the lovers of love to inspire, intrigue, and provoke you to color outside the lines of love as you know it. Take a breath, open your heart, and let me in. Episode 2. I love you, friend. Hello, darling. You came back for more. That's what I'm talking about. This week, I wanted to talk about saying those 3 magic words, except not to your lover or your family, but to your friends. Yep, you heard me, saying I love you to your platonic friends. Ugh. I can sense some of your eyebrows meeting your hairline, so do me a favor and bring them back down to home base so we can unpack this a bit. The reason why I wanted to discuss this is because of an Instagram post that I saw the other day. It read as follows. I used to be really good friends with a guy, but he broke off our friendship because his girlfriend hated that I would say love you when I hang up the phone. She then put a little sidebar that said, if you are that insecure that you don't want your partner being loved by their friends, you shouldn't be in a relationship. I then posed a question to my followers asking if the guy did the right thing by severing his friendship with the girl to accommodate his girlfriend, and I was a little surprised by the results. 45% said the guy did the right thing, and 55% said the guy was wrong. I asked a follow-up question as to whether or not my followers tell their platonic friends that they love them. 69% said that they did, and 31% said they did not. Now, if any of you are curious about where I stand, I believe that the guy was in the wrong, and yes, I do tell my friends that I love them. So in order to effectively go through this, let me first share with you my thoughts on what it means to love someone and saying I love you to friends. Love is one of those things that is universally given, received, practiced, explored, understood and misunderstood, taken for granted and abused, searched for and forgotten, and. Amongst everything that love is, one thing for certain is it causes a lot of mix-up when not practiced responsibly, much like anything else really. Love to me is a verb, an intangible moving thing that propels us into action. It is a simple thing that we do that is complicated by human emotions. Some of the better emotions are appreciation, adoration, respect, and joy. Some of the negatives are jealousy, insecurity, and possessiveness. It's something that requires us to put faith and trust into others and creates a level of commitment between the parties that share it. Ooh, did that word trigger some of you? Please, remain in your seats with your seatbelt safely buckled. We're almost at our destination. You see, the thing about friendship that I think many people too often forget is that it is a relationship. It is a form of commitment. And for clarity, commitment can be defined as the act of being bound to or obligating oneself as by pledge or assurance to a person or thing. Much like love itself, there's levels to this, and the friendship level of commitment can be similar to that of a romantic commitment, except that it's void primarily of sexual interactions. Even if you were to look up the definition of love in the dictionary, it would tell you that, as a noun, it is a feeling of warm, personal attachment or deep affection, as for a parent, child, or friend. Okay, so pausing for the cause to acknowledge that yes, we can have love for a platonic friend. So that causes me to question why it would be an issue or inappropriate to communicate or express that love verbally. And I know, some of you might be thinking, Kerr, it's not a real thing for men and women to just be platonic friends. I'm going to tell you flat out, that's fake news. And I can say that because I live it. I have several guy friends that are and have always been strictly platonic, but that's another topic we'll save for another day. The moral of today's story is that saying I love you to your friends of the opposite sex should be harmless and as normalized as saying good morning or text me when you get home safely. It's simply an expression and acknowledgement of the endearments you have towards a person in your life. Furthermore, when given and received in context, it poses no threat for external parties. But this is where the kettle starts to blow, and it's time to steep our tea. So let's get back to the situation at hand. We have 3 players: the man, the girlfriend, and the longtime friend. Now, we have some missing variables that could contribute to his decision, and one would hope that the decision he made was the best decision to make for himself long term. Some of our missing variables: how long he's been dating his girlfriend. Does he intend on marrying her or being with her long term? Has the girlfriend met the longtime friend and seen the dynamic between them, or is she just shooting in the dark? There's definitely some others, but these are the major ones that come to my mind first. So I'll try to break it down from a couple angles, even though there's tons of different ways that you can look at the situation. The man is caught between the feelings of his girlfriend and the feelings of his longtime friend, who I'll refer to as LT friend moving forward, just to keep it short. So the question is, whose feelings take priority in his decision making? On one hand, some will say he should make his girlfriend understand that the LT friend was there before her and isn't going anywhere, that they're just friends and she shouldn't be upset over something that a friend says, as it's just something said because she cares. And that's also just the dynamic of their relationship. But you can't tell someone how they should feel. That shows disregard to their truth. On the other hand, some will say that the LT friend should be more considerate of the man's relationship and just stop saying "love you" out of respect for the girlfriend's feelings. The LT friend should adjust her actions as a result of her friendship with the man and her desire for her friend to be happy in his relationship. But you can't tell someone how they should act either. That again shows disregard to their truth. And then we got in the tea, meaning from my perspective. I don't believe that there's anything anyone should do, but rather several things all parties could do to find a happy medium for everyone. All right, let me pour you a cup so we can sip this together. Let's start with the man. What if the man asked the girlfriend some questions to get a better understanding of why hearing the LT friend say "love you" gets her so upset? Questions like, why does that bother you specifically? Is it the fact that she loves me that upsets you? Or is it her saying she loves me that upsets you? Do you trust me and my intentions with her? Do you trust her and her intentions with me? Chances are the root of that problem has nothing to do with the friend itself. And once the actual problem is isolated, it can be addressed, and maybe hearing "love you" from the LT friend would hopefully no longer be a trigger. Or what if the man had a conversation with the LT friend and asked if she could just stop saying "love you" to him, or if they come up with another phrase to express her endearments? It's likely that the LT friend would rather make a minor adjustment to her communication to help out her friend rather than lose him altogether. My logic with this is that maybe, just maybe, it's not the fact that the LT friend loves him that's the issue, but it's the words "love you" that triggers the girlfriend to have negative feelings. Also, there's many ways to say and show love to friends. So if remixing the ting provides a resolve to an uncomfortable situation without losing a good friend, then why not? Compromising is an important part of not just romantic. One more time for the people in the back. Compromising is an important part of all relationships. If I were in a situation like this, I would just come up with another phrase instead of saying "love you." Something like "little Yoda" or "two bees knees" or some other random ass thing that's unique to me and my friend. I'm not okay with losing people that I love over things that are trivial or easily fixed. The words "love you" are just words to communicate a feeling, which means other words can easily be swapped in. However, if it were a situation where the girlfriend had an issue with me, then I definitely want to have a conversation with her because I'm not going anywhere, and out of respect for my friend and his relationship, it would be important to me to fully understand the scope of the problem just to see if there's anything I can do to actually help fix it. So going back to the initial questions that I asked, and my surprise at the close percentages of the first question, what surprised me was the willingness to sever a long-time good friendship over upset from saying two words. My friendships are some of the most sacred and cherished relationships that I have. These people are literally people who chose me and continue to choose me day after day, no matter what I go through in life outside of them. They have been there for me when no one else was to be found, and they've both celebrated me and helped me pick up the pieces when lovers have come and gone. Real friends are the one constant in my ever-changing world, and they add a richness to life that even helps to enhance how I love in my romantic relationships. This is also why I feel it's so important to form a strong friendship as a foundation to a life partnership, but that's an episode for another day. To the 69% of people who said that they tell their platonic friends that they love them, kudos to you. You keep that shit up. I love it, and I love you for it. To the 31% who don't, that's okay. But I hope that this inspires you to either try or find other ways to make sure your people know your heart's truth. Our time in this physical world is not promised to be long, and we never really know when the last time we might get to speak to someone is. So my motto is, better safe than sorry. Surprise! Well, for those of you that are just listening to the audio, it's not really a surprise, but for you lucky devils that are watching the video, you get to see my face. So this episode really had me in my feels about my peoples, guys. And if any of you are watching or listening to this right now, I really hope that you know how much you mean to me and how grateful I am for you as a human. You are unique, you are cherished, you are irreplaceable, you are one of my favorite choices that I have ever made in my life, and I am proud to call you my friend. Now, one of the things that comes with the territory of being my friend is sometimes I'm gonna ask you some random shit. And I really appreciate the fact that 95% of the time that I do, my friends deliver without question and without second thought. So for this, I had asked them to send me a voice note just saying I love you, however they would say it to me, and they did not disappoint. So before I let you guys go, I just wanted to share some of that love with you. You ready?
I love you, Kerry.
I love you.
I love you.
I love you.
Love you, girl.
I love you.
I love you, boo.
I love you.
Love you, baby.
I love you, my easy blue.
I love you, Miss Kerr.
I love you.
Wifey, I love you.
I love you, girl.
I love you, my Care Bear.
I love you.
I love you.
Love you, Kerry.
I love you.
Love you.
Oh, I love you all so much. And that's not even all of them, but guys, that just goes to show how important platonic, friendly love is. I want each and every one of you to know that I love you plenty, plenty much. And I mean it from the bottom of my heart. Anyways, okay, enough of the fluffy stuff. That's all that I have for you guys this week. I know that the topic was a little bit loaded, but I would really love to hear some of your thoughts. So if you'd care to share, put them in the comments below. And as always, thank you so much for joining me for another episode of MKSOUL, Miss Kerr's series of unconditional love. If you enjoyed this as much as I enjoyed making it, please share the love with a friend or two. I'll do my very best to keep things fun and interesting for you all every single time. Whatever you're doing, wherever you are, I hope this leaves you smiling and in good spirits. Blessings until next time, and don't forget, Kerr loves ya.
This is grown folks music, baby, and I ain't afraid to say it. Said I'm trying to be polite now, and I hope I get it right. If you ever had the notion for some loving and devotion, I got that magic potion, and I promise you it's harmless. So if you wanna roll, hey, I'm ready to go. And if you wanna ride now, baby, ride. That could be so nice. If you wanna see me, baby, well, this line here's important. Forget what you've been thinking, and know that love is harmless. I know you're scared of all the ghosts that's in your past. Relationships gone bad, and the ones that didn't last. Well, I can guarantee when you reach out in the darkness, This house was never haunted, and I promise you it's harmless. So if you wanna roll, yeah, I'm ready to go. And if you wanna ride now, baby, well, that could be so nice. You need to know you're the star on my red carpet. Forget what you've been thinking, lady, and know that love is harmless. I think it's safe to say that we both paid our dues. Highly explosive love, but we chose to light the fuse. Let's take a cruise for two on the waters that's uncharted. Forget what you've been thinking, baby. This love will be harmless. So if you wanna roll, I'm ready to go. But if you wanna ride now, baby, that could be so nice. What kind of fool would throw away a fortune? Well, I gladly take his portion and show you love is harmless. Woo! Ride with me, ride with me, ride with me, ride with me, ride, baby, yeah. Roll with me, roll with me, roll with me, roll with me, baby, yeah. I said, be with me, lady. Forget what you've been thinking about love. You ain't got to worry about no ghosts getting hold of you. The only thing bumping and